NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has urged European governments to act quickly, saying Donald Trump wants concrete commitments within days, in fact, to help secure the Strait of Hormuz. Now, speaking amid concerns over U.S. threats to step back from NATO, Rutte acknowledged some allies were initially a bit slow and caught off guard. However, he said support has now ramped up with a massive amount of assistance being mobilized, including basing and logistics.
If NATO can help, obviously NATO is there.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte on Thursday said that some alliance members were initially a bit slow to provide assistance to the U.S. and Iran.
In fairness, they were also a bit surprised.
But he added there is now a, quote, massive amount of support, including basing and logistics. The comments come a day after his White House meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, who has criticized European allies in recent weeks for what he said was inadequate support. Diplomats who spoke to Reuters said Rutte told European governments that Trump wants concrete commitments within days to help secure the Strait of Hormuz. Rutte is also working to defuse a crisis after Trump said he was considering withdrawing from the 32-member transatlantic alliance. On Thursday, a senior White House official told Reuters that Trump has discussed with advisors the option of removing some U.S. troops from Europe. The official, who requested anonymity to discuss internal deliberations, said no decision has been made, and the White House has not directed the Pentagon to draw up concrete plans for a troop reduction on the continent. European leaders are now under pressure to show they are quickly making tangible plans to help secure the Strait of Hormuz.
This alliance is not whistling past the graveyard, as you would say in the United States. Allies recognize, and I recognize, we are in a period of profound change in the transatlantic alliance. Europe is assuming a greater and fairer share of the task of providing for its conventional defense.
Multiple European allies have said they're willing to help in the Strait of Hormuz, but only once the situation is less hostile and an agreement with Iran is made that their ships will not be attacked.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has warned against the U.S.-Iran war, straining ties between Washington and its European allies, stressing the importance of unity within NATO. Now, speaking to reporters, Merz said he does not want the alliance to split, calling NATO a key guarantor of Europe's security. He added that he urged Donald Trump to pursue urgent negotiations with Iran, emphasizing Germany's strong interest in a diplomatic resolution to the escalating crisis.
Ich will keine Spaltung der NATO. Die NATO ist ein Garant unserer Sicherheit, auch und vor allem in Europa. Wir müssen hier weiter kühlen Kopf bewahren. Kommen kann, die Lage dort erfordert auch Antworten. Und es ist meine feste Absicht, alles zu tun, um auch den Schutz der NATO unter Einschluss der Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika für Europa zu erhalten. Dieses Bündnis ist jedenfalls gegenwärtig durch nichts zu ersetzen. Und deswegen habe ich ein hohes Interesse daran, es zu erhalten und es mit dem amerikanischen Präsidenten.
Meanwhile, European Union finance ministers from Mediterranean nations have called for an immediate ceasefire in Lebanon as violence escalates alongside the broader Iran-US conflict. Now, meeting in Split in Croatia, the MED9 group condemned ongoing Israeli strikes and pushed for urgent de-escalation. The European Commissioner said Lebanon was not included in the recent ceasefire between Iran and the US, urging a separate truce between Israel and Lebanon.
So just at the beginning, I want really to condemn what's going on in Lebanon and looking forward to ceasefire also there. Although now we heard that a ceasefire in Lebanon was not part of this agreement between Iran and the US. So what we are advocating for is a separate agreement between Lebanon and Israel.
We are against the Israel attacks against Lebanon, but there are good news now. During the meeting, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Israel called me for informing me on the decision for new negotiations between Israel, direct negotiations between Israel and Lebanon, probably in the United States of America in the next days. This is an important step, the direct dialogue between these two countries is important for achieving good results. I hope for achieving a ceasefire also in Lebanon.